Straight ahead on 12 News Weekend, taking the road less traveled.
I think it's cool to say that I do that.
Meet the Hennepin Tech student who isn't afraid of being different. Plus, the decibel dilemma.
Ruined your blind tie fair.
How loud is too loud for city park gatherings? But first, homes that are really hot, hot, hot. What potential buyers may want to consider to get the house they want. 12 News Weekend starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on 12 News Weekend. I'm Shannon Slatton.
And I'm Delane Cleveland. You have to go back 10 years to see a housing market this busy.
April had more than 6,000 pending sales in the Twin Cities metro. That's the most since 2005. Prices are also rising, up 11% so far this year. And with the market heating up, some homes go fast. Cassie Bonstrom has tips for potential buyers to make your offer stand out.
I have friends that are realtors, and they're telling me stories about getting multiple offers on the same home. Do you want to use this one?
Janice Lickness didn't plan on selling her family's Plymouth home, but word of a hot real estate market changed her mind.
So that's why we decided to do it now. We were going to wait a couple more years, actually, and we thought, well, now's the time to do it.
So up went the for sale sign on May 1st.
Within the first 12 hours of listing the home, had 8 showings scheduled. And so we felt great.
And within 4 days, it sold.
It was perfect scenario. They were able to close the same day that we closed on our new home.
And then you have 3 bedrooms. So if you come back over here, you can see.
Janice's situation isn't unusual.
Do you have any questions about the property or?
House hunting these days has jumped onto the fast track.
We are in a seller's market.
Monica Fry with Keller Williams Realty says the demand for homes is up, meaning bidding wars are becoming increasingly common. And buyers must stand out.
It's just really putting out a good package, like a good offer, and there's a number of factors in that.
Fry suggests you get pre-approved before starting a house search.
Pre-approved, not pre-qualified, there's a big difference.
That way sellers see that you're serious and ready to buy. She also discourages giving a lowball offer that will be thrown out if there's multiple bids.
Another $5,000 on that offer is only $25 a month to your monthly payment. And if this is your perfect house and the seller's done all these updates, don't lose it over that.
Janice was grateful everything had gone smoothly until she found out Tuesday the buyer had rescinded his offer on her home. She's frustrated it didn't work out, but confident the seller's market will work in her favor.
I think it will still sell. Like I said, it's a great neighborhood and we have a great price on the house, so.
Cassie Bonstrom with that story. Fry also suggests writing a cover letter of sorts to the sellers, explaining why you like the home and why it's a good fit. She says often multiple bids are very similar, and that personal letter can help make your offer stand out.
After years of seeing stores close or relocate, Brooklyn Center officials say that now the opposite is true. TJ Maxx celebrated its grand opening this week in the Shingle Creek Crossing development. Right next door, Michael's Arts and Crafts opened a brand new store after relocating from Crystal. Brooklyn Center officials say their vision for revitalizing the former Brookdale Mall site is becoming a reality and will continue through next year.
It's been very, very busy and productive, but the improvements that we're seeing are just outstanding, and we're going to see more moving forward as well.
Shingle Creek Crossing also hopes to attract a variety of new restaurants.
In Maple Grove, a cybersecurity expert painted a grim picture for small businesses.
The government says that the chances of them being attacked is 80% of having a breach in the next few years, and those that are breached, 60% will go out of business.
Brian Isle with the University of Minnesota Technology Leadership Institute warns that small businesses are prone to cyber attacks because it's a lucrative market for criminals.
They need to understand the problem. They need to approach it as a business process and build it right into their corporation.
Nearly 20% of all cyber attacks hit businesses with less than 250 workers.
In our week in review, the Anoka Hennepin School District has approved increasing the cost of school lunch for the first time in 4 years. An increase of 10 cents per meal will take effect next school year. School officials say the increase is necessary to meet rising food costs. Part of the increase is blamed on federal food regulations, which require the district to offer more fruits and vegetables to students, whether or not they eat them. In New Hope, the City Council approved a more than $200,000 fix for the city's ice arena. Work will begin in the next several weeks to improve the air quality in the south part of the arena. Air units will be replaced and new temperature controls will be installed. Most of the project will be paid for through energy tax credits and matching grants. And in Brooklyn Park, officials celebrated the grand reopening of Edinburgh, USA golf course. It underwent a nearly $2 million renovation project that took 2 years to complete. One of the biggest improvements golfers will notice is the sand traps. All 64 bunkers were renovated, while another 17 were eliminated to make room for fairways. The goal of the improvements was to make the course appeal to a wider variety of skill levels. Well, Brooklyn Park is trying to find some middle ground in a situation that is growing louder by the month.
What does the city do about loud gatherings at parks that disrupt neighborhoods? Eric Nelson takes a look at that question.
Oh, no. Joyous sounds for some can be jarring noise for others.
I'm glad we've kind of all on one page finally, because this has been coming for a long time.
That is the decibel dilemma in Brooklyn Park, which no longer allows amplified sound in public gatherings, including Central, Oak Grove, and River Parks. The city is trying to come up with a simple and fair plan that accommodates park users and neighborhood residents.
Something that says, at this point, at the property line or at the end of the park, sound decibels should not exceed or may not exceed X. We have to figure out what X is.
On the table are 3 proposals. Option 1 would allow park goers the chance to use a city-supplied boombox with a special permit. Option 2 provides a boombox, requires a permit, and would have an on-site attendant. Option 3 would require a special permit, a sound system supplied by park users, and an on-site attendant with a decibel device.
We are not against each other, but we're trying to find a solution for something that works for everyone.
I've lived by River Park since 1969. We've had days and years and years and years of the same thing. We call in, we call in, we call in. It never stops.
At Monday night's city council meeting, sound expert Dana Dixon proved that going from 43 decibels to 92 decibels is pumping up the volume in a loud way.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your blind tie affair.
Yes, there is plenty of noise from all sides on this topic. The chorus will grow even louder in the future as Brooklyn Park explores ways to build a park that will have a capacity of 150 to 300.
That both serves the needs of special events like Tater Days, but also can accommodate larger group gatherings.
Eric Nelson with that report. Plans for a new park are still a long ways off. As for the amplified sound issue, there is expected to be a vote at this Monday night city council meeting. Coming up on 12 News Weekend, a college student in Brooklyn Park who's not afraid to break down gender stereotypes.
Then later in sports, a unique team of high school-aged baseball players takes the field in Robbinsdale.
But first, a big weather change come Monday. It will be much cooler with temperatures rising only into the 50s. Welcome back. If you ask a high school senior what they'd like to study in college, you might not always get a straight answer.
But that's not the case with one local student who realized a passion at a young age and, in the process, defied stereotypes. Auto repairs are a necessary evil for anyone who owns a car. Yet one person's frustrating repair provides a world of opportunity for students in Hennepin Technical College's Auto Body Technician program.
If you like cars, well, one thing, they can't outsource this at all, ever. So the cars that are damaged here in Minnesota and Minneapolis, they're not going to get shipped to Chicago or off to a different country. They're going to all be repaired here.
In other words, there are jobs in the auto mechanic industry. However, the people mostly doing these jobs are men.
And so going in there as a girl, you could be intimidated, seeing that there's so many people you might see as different than you.
That's what makes 18-year-old Angie Frank unique. She's one of only 3 women in the Hennepin Tech Auto Body program. Today, she demonstrated the sanding process for us. It's a task that occupies much of her time between Monday and Thursday.
I'm here at 7 in the morning every single day, and I leave at 1 o'clock and then go right to my job, so it's a long day.
It may be a long day, but she's living out a passion that developed when she was a child.
I talked to my parents, family, and friends, and they're like, wow, that's so cool that you do that. Like, not many girls are in that field. Like, are you sure it's what you want to do?
She was so sure about her career choice that rather than finishing out her senior year at Blaine High School, She came to Hennepin Tech as a post-secondary student.
I've already finished my generals, and I'm already done with like almost half my program for auto body. So yeah, I do think that is a cool thing to say.
Her instructor would agree, as Angie makes strides to succeed in this male-dominated field.
Angie, even though she doesn't realize she's a role model, she is.
Well, Angie will continue taking auto mechanic classes at Hennepin Tech in the fall, and she says she's had thoughts of one day owning her own body shop.
I bet she will. She seems very determined.
Yeah, very much so. And just the fact that she knows what she wants to do at such a young age. Yeah, good for her.
Good for you, Angie.
Yeah. Well, coming up, getting the most out of your plants. That's coming up in the garden.
But first, Maple Grove comes up big in a softball showdown. That's coming up in sports with Jay Wilcox.
Welcome back. Jay's here now with sports and some softball action, huh?
That's right. Regular season now pretty much in the books. Playoff time around the corner, and boy, what a way to end the season for one local team. The Northwest Suburban Conference softball title came down to the final league game. Maple Grove and Anoka, both 12-0 in conference play coming in. Scoreless through 2.5, but the Crimson strike on the bottom of the third. Sammy Sadler drops in a hit to score Eleanor Schutte for a 1-0 lead. Next up is Sydney Smith, and her hit to left is misplayed in the outfield, allowing Sadler to score from first base for a 2-0 Maple Grove lead. And the bottom of the fourth is a big one for Maple Grove. Aaron Rolls base hit, scores Taylor Rosecker here. And Sadler will punch a hit the other way to plate Kia Anderson, the big inning on for the Crimson. Sarah Michaels' hit scores 2 runs. The Crimson gets 7 total to lead it 9-0 after 4 innings. Sydney Smith tosses a no-hitter as Maple Grove wins the conference title with a 10-0 win in 5 innings. Section play is now underway in boys tennis. Park Center paying a visit to Totino Grace in the Section 5AA first round. Number 1 doubles, Park Center's Nate Tao and Luis Figueroa are in the near court. Tao will take the point at the net as the PC duo wins in 3 sets. At third doubles, Grace's Adam Dahlman and Tommy Bredemus in the near court, and they'll take the point on the way to a 3-set win over Trevor Swedin and Nicholas Schaff of Park Center. At first singles, Park Center's Kamal Laka in the near court against Adam Burke. Burke chips a drop shot and then lobs it on his way to a 6-1, 7-5 win. John Peterson coaching what turns out to be his last match after 33 years at Park Center. Totino Grace wins at 6-1. The section final is scheduled for Tuesday at Park Center. Well, the Champlin Park baseball team has had some heartbreaking losses this spring. The Rebels hosting Centennial earlier this week. Champlin Park jumps on the Cougars. Riley Johnson with a hit to right to bring Noah Booley around from second, and it's quickly 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Later in the inning, Derek Smith hits a seeing eye bouncer over the mound and off the shortstop's glove. Johnson and Brian McGill score on the play as Champlin Park goes up 3-1 after an inning. In the top of the fourth, though, Centennial gets on the board. Isaac Moore's single to center brings Jordan Ewings home. The Cougars get 2 runs to pull within 4-2. We jump ahead to the 7th. Centennial's down to their last out. Dylan Hagan lines a hit past the third baseman. Watch it skid in the grass in the rain. Noah Greenswig scores to make it 4-3. Tim Munn relieves Aaron Klepner, and Ewings greets Munn with a long drive that'll clear the fence and right for a 2-run homer. Centennial stuns the Rebels 5-4. There's a unique baseball team taking the field this spring. Over a dozen Armstrong and Cooper students and ball players are getting a chance to play outside of the regular high school teams. John Jacobson has their story.
The boys of summer couldn't wait. 15 players, most of them Armstrong and Cooper high school students, got an early start to the summer traveling baseball season.
These are all kids that either got cut from either Cooper or Armstrong or didn't go out for one reason or another. But most of these kids have played baseball all their lives, and some of them are just summer baseball players.
All of the players on this team have played ball growing up together in the Armstrong-Cooper Youth Baseball Association. They're practicing a couple of times a week and playing a limited game schedule against high school-age teams in the Metro. Playing in the spring helps these guys get ready for summer.
It's nice so you don't come in rusty and bad at the plate and maybe a little hard time throwing at the start.
Playing better people than us or like similar to our skill level helps us get better. So
it's been a good experience. The team started after high school tryouts. A couple of us got cut. Some of us didn't want to come try out, and just come play baseball. There's no other option other than high school. So
these kids would have been sitting around for the last 2 months. Instead, they've been playing now. We've been practicing. So they've gotten a lot of, opportunity to stay sharp, and they will be on pace with all the kids that have been playing, spring baseball in their high school team. So these kids are right there.
And player evaluations for the summer traveling season in Robbinsdale are scheduled for Sunday. So a good chance for those guys to get ready for the summer and then have a good spring too.
Sounds like they'll be ready to go.
That's right.
Thanks, Jay. Still ahead, what Robbinsdale Middle School students say are their favorite veggies.
We'll have that and more when we come back.
They're all donated from local gardeners who dug out of their own yards, potted them up themselves, and
the Interfaith Outreach and Community Partners Plant Sale helps the nonprofit grow and helps people in need. Volunteers spent the day organizing plants on Friday for Saturday's sale. At least 60 volunteers worked hard to put the plant sale on, but they say it's worth it.
Every penny that we raise goes to Interfaith. Over the last 16 years, Gary and his gang raised $172,000, all of it going to Interfaith.
Interfaith Outreach and Community Partners will decide how the proceeds from this sale will be used. And finally, how do you get kids to try new vegetables? How about having them grow those vegetables themselves?
Well, students at Robbinsdale Middle School celebrated the completion of newly planted garden plots. They planted kale, spinach, zucchini, squash, and cucumbers, to name a few. It started as a 7th grade ecology lesson, but turned into something much bigger.
We did ask some of what they wanted, and peas and beans and tomatoes came back the biggest. So
what about the rest?
The rest, we just want them to try different colors of foods and get more used to eating with fresh ingredients.
Well, when it comes to different colors, check out the rainbow carrots. Summer students will weed and water the plants this summer, and with any luck, there will be a harvest in the fall. I could certainly learn a few tips from them. If you saw my poinsettia that I had on my desk over Christmas, did not do so well.
Maybe the rainbow carrots would do better.
Maybe, there you go. That's something to think about. It's all the news for now. Thanks for joining us.
Have a nice weekend, and we'll see you back here again on Monday.